always another job. I was an assistant director. I still do assistant directing to make money, and I've worked in many different jobs, computers and a news archive. So whatever I need to do to make money. But right now, filmmaking is my only job. I have decided not to work unless I can work in film. But I'm still working out how to make money from being a filmmaker. I can tell you my new choice, if you like. I will direct films again, but for now, because in London I'm part of a big filmmaking community. We share each other's films. We have film nights, so I have access to a lot of talent. So now my decision is to be a script developer, a development producer. So I will work with writers and directors on their projects from the beginning to make the best stories. And then once the stories are ready, I can talk to finance people and to distributors and to talent and start to package the film so that it can actually be made and be made well. This is brand new. It's a very new, exciting journey for me. So there's a lot of short film being made in our country. I think most filmmakers will apply for funding, but there's a big movement towards people not waiting for the funding, and they just pay for it from their own wages through favours. Well, the creative community is in the UK is huge, and there's a lot of generosity between different filmmakers to help each other out and to collaborate. I think that's the same everywhere in the world. And in terms of funding, official funding is still very difficult to come by. I live in London. It's very difficult to get funding because there's like 9 million people living in London. A lot of filmmakers going for the same amount of money, and there's, yeah, I mean, it's still scarce. How much is enough? I don't know, but I think filmmakers generally the world over are very ingenious, and they will find a way to express what they want to say. If they really want to say it, they'll find a way. I think probably one of the best subsidies for filmmakers is tax relief. When you get to commercial filmmaking and you're looking for investment from private investors, I mean, there are, through the British film industry, a film institute, you can apply for funds which do come from central government, and they also come from the lottery. That's one side of it. But there's also what I think is a more interesting and more widely available way of funding films is through tax breaks, through that the government offer for people that are investing in high risk things like filmmaking. You can get a tax break on your money by investing, say, £100,000 of your money in a feature film. Then if you have £50,000 worth of tax to pay, you don't have to pay that tax anymore, because the tax man recognises you've given that money to a film. So part of your investment can be offset in film investment. So they are exciting things that the government offers legitimately to investors and filmmakers as creative ways to get their films made. But like everything, especially because we are in a recession, the government are always reducing that, and this year the incentive reduced a little bit more. So it's a change in landscape, but tax breaks are one of the big ways that filmmakers get their films funded at a higher investment level. Personally, I don't have any equipment. I always the equipment will come through, for example, in terms of camera, it might be the cinematographer has their own equipment and we use that. And sometimes it's a consideration. You have a cinematographer that wants to work with you and they have the equipment. And so you say, sure, let's try it, because they want a good script to put on their showreel and you need to save money. So you take a gamble on each other. But yeah, for me, technology changes too quickly for me to buy a camera, and I'm not a cameraman. So I like to have the choice to have the discussion with my cinematographer about what equipment they want to use, and then we budget. And I say, no, you can't have it because it's too expensive. But yeah, I personally don't buy equipment, but there is a trend now that a lot of filmmakers are empowering themselves by being self-sufficient, and they buy their own editing equipment, they buy their own camera equipment, and certainly if you're going to go down the route of making a lot of short films, then that can be something that can save you money in the long run.